All right, we got Star Wars' King of Doofus's Jar Jar coming to the game. I mean, we already knew that, but he's finally almost motherfucking here as we have the Developers Insights and kit reveal. Developers Insights is already done, and so here is the kit reveal, so let's get into it. Alright, first up, How Wooed, his basic. Looks like he's just kind of a moron and spins around and drops this bomb. How Wooed I thought was something that happened to him, though not so much something that he does, but okay. Anyways, final text. Deal special damage to all enemies. On his turn, one of 3 effects will occur. Either he'll inflict Death Mark for 1 turn to the healthiest enemy, which can't be resisted, if they have at least 3 debuffs. The weakest Gungan ally will gain damage immunity for 1 turn, or Gungan allies gain tenacity up for 1 turn. It's kind of weird that it's random, but sure. Additionally, this attack has a 0.01% chance to instantly defeat a random enemy, which can't be evaded. Increased to 1%. Wow, that's still nothing, but in the grand scheme of things, that's 100 times more of a chance. If there are any separatist enemies, this attack can't be countered. So, first off, that's terrible odds. 0.01%. So that's 1/100th of a percent. You would have 100 times to have this happen before you even have a 1% chance. So, and then there's 100 chances. So 100 times 100 is what, 10,000? So this is 1 in 10,000. So you can do this move 10,000. You could do this move 9,999 times and never have that happen. So kind of crap odds, but sure. The question I have though is it says instantly defeat a random enemy. So by any chance, could that be a galactic legend, or could it even be a raid boss? Could you be in like the challenge pit raid? I don't even know if that's a thing anymore. But if it is, could you be in that and then, that triggered and now he's just straight dead and you just got whatever the max score is, 15 million points or something? Or does this only work against regular characters like a Nihilus Annihilate does or something? I mean, with ridiculous odds like this, it should be good against anything, but I don't know, it doesn't really say. Anyways, a special one. Uh-oh. Wow, that does not sound like Jar Jar at all. Misa Jar Jar Binks. Big pumas. Big boobs. That's more like Yoda, too. Man, I suck at these voices. I used to be so good at them as a kid. Now I don't know what happened. Anyways, he's just scared. The bombs come, miss him, and they hit the enemies. Final text. Deal special damage to all enemies. If the target enemy had protection, stun that enemy for 1 turn. Otherwise, inflict them with 3 stacks of expose for 1 turn. Again, you have a 0.01% chance that all enemies lose all turn meter and are inflicted with fear for 1 turn, which can't be copied, spelled, prevented, or resisted. Increased to 1% chance if there are any separatist enemies. If all allies are Gungans, all enemies are inflicted with plasma residue for 1 turn, which can't be copied. Which I would hope all allies are Gungans. Why would they not be? That'd be stupid. I'm gonna put Jar Jar on this Mandalorian team. That makes sense, right? You know, at least the other one being 0.01% chance is pretty good. It's an insta-kill. Like, this is kind of dumb. Oh, they just lose all their turn meter and they're inflicted with fear. Like, oh, cool. I'm glad I have terrible odds for that. Anyways, plasma residue. What does this do? It says this character loses 100% evasion. If this character becomes inflicted with shock, deal reduced massive damage to all enemies. Deal reduced massive damage to all enemies with plasma residue, then remove all instances of plasma residue. What? Deal reduced massive damage. What does that mean? So, massive damage is, well, what it says. It's usually a really high amount of damage. So what is reduced? Just normal damage? Or is it still a really high amount, but slightly less? So instead of putting up, say, 500,000 damage, you're doing 450,000. What does that mean? Anyways, apparently this has an omicron. Did it say that? Oh yeah, it did. I didn't see that. Whoops. While in Grand Arenas, and all allies are Gungans, which should be your only option, dispel bonus protection and protection up on all enemies, and they lose 5% max health and max protection, stacking, which can't be evaded, for the rest of the encounter. Then inflict the target enemy with protection disruption for 1 turn. Plasma residue can't be resisted. Whenever this ability is used, reduce the cooldown of all other Gungan allies' abilities by 1. Well, that's pretty cool. Get their special abilities going a lot faster. And another thing that's kind of cool is it says dispel bonus protection and protection up on all enemies. And then not only that, they lose 5% of their max health and max protection, which is stacking. So I'm assuming that means every single time you use this move. So that's like free damage right there. But bonus protection and protection up are quite annoying. Our current galactic challenge that we have going on is we are Inquisitors going up against Galactic Republic with a Padme lead. And they just keep having protection up and all this, and it's very annoying. So when I read this, I'm like, oh, this would be great against that nonsense. Now, I don't know if the Padme team normally has protection up like that all the time, or if that's just a Galactic Challenge mechanic. I'm assuming it's a mechanic, but it's still very annoying. So to have something like this, clean that right off, sick! Anyhow, next move is Wisa Warriors. That's the one where he, quote-unquote, has a battle droid stuck to his foot, and he's just, casually jumping around, shooting everyone. So, what does this say? Final text. Deal special damage to target enemy and a random enemy. Gungan allies recover 10% protection. You also have that tiny chance that all Gungans will recover 100% health and protection and gain 100% turn meter and foresight for 2 turns, increased to 1% chance if there are any separatist enemies. Again, that's not that good for such terrible odds. Like, the only one that was good was the basic move. Anyways, if all allies are Gungans, which they better be, excluding summoned allies, which I don't think you can summon a Gungan, right? The only summon we get is the shield generator, which that's Gungan property, but not a Gungan. But anyways, if they're all Gungans, for each different debuff on target enemy or random enemy that could be copied and dispelled, excluding stacking debuffs, that debuff is dispelled and inflicted on that enemy for 1 turn. Wait, what? Hold on. For each different debuff on the target enemy or a random enemy that could be copied or dispelled, that debuff is dispelled and then inflicted on that enemy for 1 turn. What does that mean? So if they had a damage over time, you would dispel it and then put it back on? What? Am I reading that right? That sounds pretty dumb. What's the point of that? These debuffs can't be dispelled or resisted. All enemies are inflicted with 2 stacks of frustration for 1 turn, which can't be copied. I'm not understanding what that does. It sounds pretty stupid. Anyways, frustration. Detrimental effects build based on the cumulative number of stacks. 1, they can't assist or counterattack. Ooh, that'd be good. Again, this is separatist. That means I'm thinking they're taking Dooku into effect there. No counterattacks. 2, if you have 2 stacks of frustration, then it's whenever this character gains bonus turn meter, remove 2 stacks of recharge from the enemy shield generator and expose this character for 2 turns. Is removing 2 stacks of recharge good? Because it's saying this character. What? That means us, right? Okay. And expose this character, but what? I'm confused. Does this character mean us, or does it mean the enemy that we're attacking? It must mean the enemy, right? No, because it says they gain bonus turn meter, but then it says they get exposed. I don't know what that means. Number 2. What's number 3 say? Special abilities are unusable for 1 attack. Remove all stacks of frustration after this attack. Okay. I'm hoping that's to the enemy that they can't use their special abilities. That'd be sort of cool, especially if we're going up against something that could have a serious special ability, like, Mando with his Annihilate move, or Nihilus with his Annihilate move. Anyhow, unique 1, Misa Okide. This has a Zeta and an Omicron, which should be in Grand Arena. So, final attacks. At the start of battle, Jar Jar loses 75% max health and gains that much as max protection, just like every other Gungan did. At the start of the battle, Jar Jar is inflicted with Death Mark until he receives damage or evades an attack. If the enemy leader is Separatist at the start of the encounter, Jar Jar gains 50 speed for the rest of the encounter. Jar Jar's debuffs can't be evaded, and he can't be called to assist. He receives Death Mark out the gate. That's kind of crappy. What the heck? And he can't be called to assist, so that's kind of weird, but okay. Whenever another character gains Foresight, Jar Jar gains Foresight for 1 turn. Well, that's cool. Whenever Jar Jar gains Foresight, he dispels it and blinds himself instead for 1 turn. Okay, that's kind of dumb. Hey, I'm going to see the enemies move. Just kidding, I'm going to put sand in my eyes and some salt in my eyes. Whenever Jar Jar evades a basic ability, the enemy that missed is inflicted with a stack of frustration for 1 turn at the start of the next turn, which can't be copied or resisted. Whenever an enemy dazes, staggers, or stuns a Gungan ally, Deathmark Jar Jar until he receives damage or evades an attack. What? Are they saying whenever that happens to somebody else, then Jar Jar will take a Deathmark? Okay, that's weird, but sure. What was I gonna say? Oh, the frustration. Yeah, that's a cool way to stack that up. So it's whenever an enemy, misses their move? Yeah. Then they get a stack of frustration. That's cool. Then you can stack that up quickly. Anyways, if there's an active ally shield generator, Jar Jar has plus 1,000% evasion. That's a bit extreme, but it also sounds like he will constantly miss everything. How are you gonna hit him with plus 1,000% evasion? But that means he's always death marked because it says until he receives damage. Oh, or evades an attack, so he'd be constantly evading. And then when an evasion happens, then the enemy gains frustration. Whenever a character gains bonus turn meter, Jar Jar has a 1% chance of gaining a bonus turn, increased to 10% if it is an enemy. Well, that's way better odds, especially if it's an enemy. 10%, it's way better than 0.01% or just 1%. Whenever this effect occurs, Jar Jar can't gain another bonus turn from this ability for 2 turns. Oh, okay. Anyways, the Omicron is whenever the shield generator uses Plasma Pulse, reset all of Jar Jar's cooldowns. Whenever a Gungan ally is dazed, staggered, or stunned, they dispel it and gain shield up for 2 turns. Okay. Whenever the shield generator uses Plasma Pulse, reset all of Jar Jar's cooldowns. I'm just rereading this because that sounds kind of basic for a Omicron. That sounds more like a Zeta. Whenever the shield generator uses Plasma Pulse, reset all of his cooldowns. Like, that's an Omicron? I mean, yeah, it also says whenever a Gungan ally is just dazed, staggered, or stunned, they dispel it and engage shield up. But Omicrons are supposed to be next level. That's kind of basic. Like I said, that's Zeta status. Like, what the heck? It's pretty dumb. Hey, let me take a whole month to get his Omicron so I can put it on Jar Jar for this. Seriously? Anyways, unique motherfucking 2. Moe, I love you. It has a Zeta and an Omicron. Probably a piece of crap Omicron, just like the one I just read. So this says, Gungan allies have plus 75% accuracy. If the enemy leader is Separatist, at the start of the encounter, all Gungan allies gain 50% protection until the end of the encounter, or Jar Jar is defeated for the first time. Oh, okay. The cool thing about the Gungans is they almost seem like they're like a Phoenix squad in a way. You know, Phoenix under Hera lead, they all share their unique. Well, all the Gungans have a unique that benefits the whole team. Like this one, everybody gets plus 75% accuracy. And then if the enemy leader is Separatist, then they all also gain 50% max protection. So that's kind of cool. At the start of the first turn, if there are no galactic legends, all enemies are inflicted with a stack of frustration for 1 turn. Oh, wow. Increased to 3 stacks if they are stealthed. Ooh. So that's almost like going up against the CLS squad, and then 3PO goes under stealth, which can't be resisted. So it can be dispelled or all that other crap? If different enemies take consecutive turns... What? A random Gungan ally gains a bonus turn. What does that mean? Different enemies take consecutive turns? So how does it become a consecutive turn, though, if it's different? That's not consecutive. It means X went, then Y went, then okay, maybe X went again, but that's not consecutive. It got broken up when Y went. So what is that supposed to mean? I don't know. Anyways, whenever Jar Jar misses an attack on his turn, all other Gungan allies assist once per turn, dealing 50% less damage. But there's 4 of them, so that means it's still 200% damage total. You know, 50, 50, 50, 50, it's 200. Whenever the ally shield generator uses Plasma Pulse, Gungan allies ignore protection for 1 attack. Ooh, it's not bad. Ignoring protection, so putting true damage, basically. If there is an active ally shield generator, Gungan allies can't drop below 100% health when they have protection, and can't be instantly defeated. Oh, cool. So those Annihilate moves would not be scary now. Hey, shield generator is active. I can't fall below 100% health, and I can't be annihilated. Yeah, fuck you. Alright, and the Omicron. While in Grand Arenas, and all allies are Gungans, I'd hope so, at the start of the first turn, only apparently, the ally shield generator gains 2 stacks of plasma shielding for every 3 relic amplifier levers Jar Jar has. So basically multiples of 3, 3, 6, 9, so that's 3 times that it can get that, or that means 6 stacks of plasma shielding. Whenever a non-Gungan ally gains damage immunity... Oh, enemy. I was going to say, why would it be a non-Gungan ally? It don't make sense. Enemy, my bad. Gains damage immunity, which is, again, separatist. So we're talking about Django. He gets damage immunity all the time, which is annoying. Also, so does Droideka. All Gungan allies gain damage immunity for 1 turn. Oh, that's funny. So 1 enemy gets it versus your whole entire team. Whenever a Gungan ally gains a bonus turn from this ability, they gain 5% mastery until the end of the encounter. Okay, that last part's kind of dumb. The first 2 parts were cool, though, to the Omicron. That last part was kind of dumb, but okay, whatever. Anyways, and that's the whole entire kit reveal. So, let's see what the community has to say. Tuscan Meathead, him drawing his stupid nonsense. F you, you moron. Why isn't Jar Jar permanent? Wait, why isn't Jar Jar permanent when he's the big player in the raid? Seems bad. What? What are you talking about? Why isn't he permanent? I think you mean because he gets Death Mark? You can't imagine how much excitement I was robbed of with that misleading title. Oh yeah, how they kind of started with Darth. I know, I got mildly excited too. Like, I knew it was a joke, but I was thinking, whoa, is this what they're doing? Are they making Darth Jar Jar real? I mean, they could. Swordy's a character they made up, and I think Captain Drogon is too. They're both characters they made up, but now they're part of the canon. They're real characters in the Star Wars universe now, so they could make Darth Jar Jar a real thing. We saw in trouble. Hopefully it comes around more often than Jedi Cal Kestis. Yeah, I know, Jedi Cal Kestis comes around like once every year. Doesn't affect me, I don't have any of the requirements, but a lot of the people that do have the requirements are annoyed at how long they have to wait. Well, that certainly is chaotic. I love it. Money. Yeah, you're actually probably right. Kit summary. Jar Jar is good 1% of the time and great 0.01% of the time. This. Can Jar Jar instantly kill with a random 0.01% chance a tune that is not supposed to be instantly killed like a GL? Kit says it's is unable to be evaded. Is that unavoidable? That's exactly what I said. Either a GL or like in raids or something. I would imagine that's yes, because the odds are so small that if you hit it, it might as well just take care of anything, right? It's kind of like the lottery. Your chances are ridiculously low. But if the jackpot is $2 billion and you pull the number, that's your $2 billion. Well, sort of. I mean, after taxes, you're left with like 500 million, which is still a lot, but compared to $2 billion, that's, you know, big ripoff. But point is you get it. So, since this is such a low chance that it would happen, I would hope that a GL would count, but you never know. Anyways, though, GLs are immune to instant defeat. They are, I know, that's part of their kit, but at the same time, this is like a special thing. So, does it override? Oh look, you got another 3 omicrons. The ratio of omnis to income gets ever more ridiculous. The only problem I have is his second omicron is a piece of crap. I think that's a waste of an omicron. Like I said, it should have just been a zeta. The last one, okay, that's kind of omicron-y. And I think the first one was decent, but the second one, that's dumb. I'll get him in a year. Just do not see the point in investing in this team when I can just gear up Bane. Also, so much anti-separatist. Either for the raid or new separatist content inbound. I mean, being super anti-separatist on one hand makes sense because that's what they fought. But on the other hand, it is super random. I mean, separatists aren't really difficult. People can get through them no problem, so we don't really need a faction that's gonna be strong against it. You know, it's not like the Inquisitors, how they made them with their intent to be good against Jedi. We have 2 Jedi GLs in the game, so it made sense to kind of make it so maybe you have another team that could be viable against Jedi GLs. Where this, nobody's struggling with Separatists. The droids, they're not hard. Especially in Grand Arena, I use Wampa. Simple. And then anything else, like if you're under a Newt lead, it's not that hard. You throw anything at it. You can throw like Jedi Knight Revan team at it. Boom, done. So, maybe, like they said, it could be that the new raid, maybe, you know, the new raid obviously could quite possibly be separatist themed, which means the Gungans having that huge edge makes it better for the player. As far as this person, I'll give him in a year. I don't know when I'm going to get him. I don't really care to rush and do this. I got a lot of other stuff to work on. GLs, other characters I actually care about more, like Star Killer. I also have a couple of Conquest characters I've unlocked that I haven't worked on at all, even though I want to. I just haven't gotten around to it because I'm busy with other stuff. So I don't really care about adding more to that list. You know, all those Gungans, and then Jar Jar. This can wait. Why does Jar Jar's kit look similar to GC's game updates? 0.01% chance there's no bugs, 1% chance of no bugs when they test. Okay, now it's officially the circus instead of a mobile game. A bit worried about this. Honestly, frustration acts as an ability block without ability block, but might cause issues if it ends up on characters who are immune to ability block because they can be forced into using specials. JKCK, BAM, C. Okay, I know who C is. What's this? Jedi Knight Calicestus. Who's BAM? Who is BAM? Beskar Armor Mando? What did I just read? I generally started laughing out loud when Jar Jar was inflicting himself with Deathmark and Blind. I mean, the blind is kind of funny. Like, I made the joke myself, too. Oh, I'm going to see what the enemy's going to do. Nah, I'm going to put salt and sand in my eyes. But the death mark's a bit extreme. Like, what the heck? Why is he trying to kill himself, basically? That's weird. I mean, that's not what Jar Jar's about at all. He's always all about having dumb luck. So, but I think the way that they counter that is with him, having plus 1,000% evasion. There's a 1% chance I understood this kit. That's me on every kit. I read them and I never understand what I'm reading. I try to be analytical, but I don't know what I'm reading. This one I tried. I sort of understand it, but anyways, looks like this kit also inflicts stacks of frustration on the player. Probably a permanent defense team to avoid self-inflicting those stacks. What does shield up 25% do? Can't find it in any of the kits. I took that to mean like it's protection up, basically, just like a 25% bar. You know what I mean? So instead of filling up us 100% of the way, it's only 25% bonus protection, basically. But when is Darth Jar Jar coming? Yeah, when? It's like protection up, but it's based on max protection. The legend has arrived. While I expected him to work primarily with Gungans, I also thought he would get to the Galactic Republic tag and some light synergy with them. He was a senator after all. And he did work with Qui-Gon and Padme quite a bit, so it would have been kind of cool, but it just makes more sense with the Gungans. The new faction, just optimize them as much as you can. Will the Insta-Kill remove all remaining B1 stacks from the match, or just the standard 8 stacks before a normal hit kill? That's actually a good question. I didn't think of that. I mean, they are supposed to have intense anti-separatist synergy, so you never know. But at the same time, the whole point of that, though, is it's that each stack is an individual B1. So an insta-kill, I feel like, would actually just be the same. You're insta-killing one B1. You're not getting all of them. But who knows? For the purposes of a game mechanic, instead of like a real-life situation, but more like just a game mechanic, they could have it like that. People would like that, obviously. Anyways, I think B1 is immune to insta-kills. Otherwise, it's just the 8. I figured as much, but a boy can dream. The animations are top-notch. No, they're not. The animations are stupid. They're so basic. Like, this game doesn't put very much effort in. Like, this is it. Like, oh, okay. Cool. That's such basic. Like, that's what all of them practically did. Okay, so he jumps a little. Oh, well, everyone else had that ball go flying and blow up. Like, that's a recycled animation right there. Ugh. Anyways, there it is. Jar Jar. We finally have his kit reveal. Supposedly he's supposed to be awesome for the Gungan team, but from what I read, it ain't that special. I mean, it's alright, but I don't see what they're talking about, how it's supposed to be next level and all this. But sure, maybe it works a lot better when it's actually being played with. I don't know. Maybe actually having a team and trying out these mechanics and everything. Maybe it's a different experience than just reading about it. But anyways, there it is. This is what we've all been waiting for. At least I have been, trying to get through all those other Gungans just so then we can hear about him. And yeah, he's finally here. Well, sort of. At least his Caravel's here. He's not going to be here until, what, May 2nd, it said? But yeah. So that is all I got for you guys for now. Thanks for checking this out with me. And until next time, I said I'll see ya.